Hello my fellow Disney lovers, or I assume that's what you are if you're watching this video. My name is Nikki and I am about to take my Disney College Program phone interview. It is about 9:55 right now and my phone interview is scheduled for 10:30, but you're supposed to be ready to go 15 minutes before, so I am just preparing everything right now and going over all my notes that I have taken right here. And I'm probably going to post this video whether I get accepted or if I don't, because I know that looking at these videos helped me prepare a lot for this, and this is something I've wanted to do for years, so it's so surreal to me that I'm getting to finally do this. I've been wanting to do this since I was like a freshman in high school, and now I am in college, and the time has finally come, and I am fortunate enough to have made it to the phone interview process, and I would like to help you guys. So even if I don't get accepted, I'm probably still going to post this so you guys can see what kind of questions I got asked and all of that. I'm really nervous, but I feel like I'm well prepared and I have a lot to talk about with my recruiter, so I'm excited, but I don't know, I hope it goes well. I have my Disney ears on for good luck, and I'm just hoping everything goes well, but yeah, I have some notes here ready to go. I've got my Disney stuff set up in the back, and I'm excited. Like, I think the key to this is positivity, so I am just taking some deep breaths, giving myself a few minutes to like relax and just get in the zone. I was listening to some Disney music earlier, and the interview will be happening soon, and I'm going to have it on speaker so you guys can hear what they're saying. I'll probably like go over the parts that are like personal information or whatever, but everything else will be here for you guys to hear. Hello?
Hi, may I speak with Nikki?
Hi, this is me. How are you?
Hi, Nikki. This is Nicole calling from Disney. How are you?
Good. We have the same name. That's awesome.
I know. You won't forget me, right?
Right.
So I am calling for your Disney College Program interview. Is now still a good time for you?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, great. Let me tell you a little bit about our process. We are going to be together for about 20 minutes, and I'll ask you questions to learn about you and your work experience, and we'll talk about the roles that you're interested in. And at the end of the interview, I'll answer any questions you have about the college program. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, great. So now I'm going to take care of a few housekeeping items that I do with everyone. So bear with me over the next couple of minutes. And are you an international student studying in the U.S. on a visa?
No, I'm not.
And I do see you have not worked for the Disney company before. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
As you may be aware, all of our roles in the parks and resorts do require you to wear a costume and comply with the Disney look and appearance guidelines. Are you familiar with and receptive to those guidelines, or would you like me to review them with you?
I'm familiar with them, yes.
And you're receptive to them as well?
Yes.
Okay, great. And for costuming purposes, do you have any tattoos, piercings, or body modifications, such as ear gauges or dermal piercings, which would be visible outside of a tank top or sleeveless shirt and mid-thigh length shorts?
I have 3 tattoos. 2 of them are pretty small. One of them is on my left bicep, like on the inner bicep. It's just like a wildflower bouquet, so it's like not super big, but it'll be covered by a shirt.
About how big is it in inches length?
I'd say maybe like 3 inches, but it would be covered
3
by
3?
Yeah, probably about that.
Okay.
It would be covered by a shirt though, most likely.
Okay, like a short sleeve shirt it would be?
Yeah, or I could wear sleeves.
Okay.
I'm okay with covering all of my tattoos.
Okay.
And then
Where
I
are your other
have
2 tattoos?
on my other arm, it's like below my inner elbow kind of. It's like 3 words and it's pretty small. I would say that one's probably about 2 inches across.
2 by, what do you think?
Maybe like,
An inch or?
yeah, 2 by, yeah, like an inch.
Okay.
And then I
And
have
where's the third one?
a tiny one on my left ankle. It's just a little Gemini symbol, so it's not very big. It's covered by socks.
Okay. So what do you think? Inch by an inch?
Yeah,
Maybe
definitely.
A little bigger than that?
I would say
Okay.
it's, yeah.
So you're obviously receptive to covering with obviously socks or sleeves,
Yep.
etc.
And I've even practiced
Or even
covering.
makeup.
Yep, I've practiced covering with makeup too, so I could do
Okay.
all of
Alright,
that.
Great. Any other piercings or anything?
I have my ears double pierced.
Okay, so you'd be fine taking that second pull out,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. All right. Additionally, some of our roles do require you to operate a vehicle. Do you have a valid U.S. driver's license?
I do.
Okay. And looks like you are interested in the Walt Disney World College program down in Orlando, Florida. Your first choice is our 7-month Spring Advantage program, with your second choice being our 5-month Spring program. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. So did you happen to see the arrival and departure dates for the Spring Advantage program that we listed on the job posting?
Yes, they're from January to, is it August, right?
Yes. So we have January 22nd and 28th departing August 1st, and then we have a February 4th arrival date departing August 8th. Are you receptive to all of those dates?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. All right. Well, our housekeeping is finished, Nikki. So let's talk a little bit about the college program. As you may be aware, it is made up of 3 components. And first, I'd like to talk about the living component. So we do know that sometimes disagreements or stressful situations are unavoidable, whether it's at school, work, or home. Can you tell me about a time you independently handled one of these situations?
Sure. So actually, I share a room with my sister, and we have lots of arguments over space and like cleanliness because I'm way cleaner than she is. So we have lots of disputes about that, but I always calmly talk it out with her because I feel like that helps her understand where I'm coming from better than just yelling at her. So I often tell her, like, hey, can you please, like, clean this up? This is bothering me because of this reason and this reason. And she'll be like, okay, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I'm sorry. Or, like, with her stealing my clothes, I'll tell her the same thing. So I feel like it just works out better if you calmly, like, talk it out with people.
Yeah, most definitely. So you think that you would take that approach living with people from all over the country or even potentially world, right?
Yes, I think that would be actually so cool to meet people from around the world.
Yeah, definitely. Now tell me, why this program? Why the Disney College program as opposed to any of the other internship programs out there?
So I've heard about this program since I was a freshman in high school, actually. So I've been waiting for the perfect, so I've been waiting for the perfect opportunity for this to happen for me. And I love the magic that Disney brings, and it's just something that's been really close to my heart since I was little. Me and my family, we go every year, and it's just something that I would love to be part of, to make magic for other families, and it's just really special to me. So I've always wanted to be a cast member, and I've had lots of magical moments happen for me, so I would like to be somebody who could make that for other people too.
Okay, and just looking at your application, looks like you have a variety of work experience. You've worked in sales for American Eagle, you've been a kid counselor, a princess actress, a fairy godmother,
yes.
at a bounce house. So thinking back to all of your work experience, how did the skills that you've attained make you successful in the roles that you expressed interest in at Walt Disney World?
Well, safety is a huge concern of mine for pretty much all of my jobs that I have. Working as like an elementary school counselor, keeping kids safe is like one of our biggest things. Like we have meetings about it, and we're always looking for new ways to like incorporate fun activities that also are keeping them in a contained environment that keeps them safe and having fun. So I'm always coming up with different stuff to work on that. And then I work at a bounce house company, so of course like that is a big safety hazard there. So I'm always explaining rules to the kids and why it's important to do a couple at a time and have our shoes off and go over all of that safety with them. And for being a princess character too, safety is another thing. Like, if children run at you and stuff like that, you don't want to fall over. So it's important to kind of like, keep that in mind too. So I feel like that is a huge thing. And then I've also learned a lot about creativity from all of my different work experience too. So as a kid counselor also, I'm always coming up with fun crafts and fun games and ways to be creative, and we are always reading them stories, and I have to be like the fun one, so I'm always coming up with all these fun storylines, and it's just really exciting over there. Like there's never a dull moment. So I feel like,
yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, so I've definitely like learned to kind of spread myself out and like, yeah. So that's definitely something.
And can you tell me about a time maybe working at American Eagle or even, I'll go that direction, but you may have a different example, that you had to handle a particularly difficult customer situation?
At American Eagle? Well, actually, one time a customer tried to return something to me that had, like, clearly a ripped pocket. And, and he was like, He was like, I did this, but I'm just wondering if I could return it. Like, it didn't happen in the store, or it didn't happen when I bought it. He was like, I did it, but I don't want it anymore. And I was like, well, if you didn't do it, or I was like, if you did do it, I mean, we could still take it, but you're not going to get your full refund on that. I was like trying to explain it to him, and he was being kind of loud, so I had to get my manager involved, and we calmly like handled it together. But it didn't cause too much of a scene because we took care of it quietly and made sure he didn't cause any more problems in the store than he already was, because he was kind of being loud and
yeah. And tell me about the busiest day you've ever had at work. How'd you get through it? How'd you feel at the end of the day?
Oh my gosh, I actually have a good story for this. So my very first day of working there was Black Friday, and I didn't have a lot of training before that. They kind of just hired me, and they were like, we need you as soon as possible, so can you come start like tomorrow? And I was like, sure. So I remember all of these people in the store like rushed it. It was on Thanksgiving, so I was already kind of like, I was kind of like emotional from like not being with my family at that day, but it was my first time doing that. So I've had plenty of other experiences after that, but I was nervous because I was still in high school, so I think I was like maybe a sophomore, junior. So I was shy, and all these people are asking me questions, and I was like, I'm not sure, but I could ask my manager to give me a second, and I was like running all over the place, and they were like, can you go in the back and look for this item? And I was saying to myself, I've never been back here before. So I was trying to help them the best I could. So it was definitely kind of crazy, but I just tried to take some deep breaths, and on my breaks, I just kind of like asked my coworkers for tips that they had. And that helped me get through it a lot. And then when I went home, I kind of just I gave myself a breather and came back the next day a lot more confident than the first day.
Good. So after you made it through that first day, did you like that really fast pace, or?
Yeah, I actually did. I did. I grew to like it.
Yeah, I know the first day is always kind of a shock, especially going into it on a holiday. Now, if I asked you if you were more independent or team-oriented, what would you say and why?
I would say that I could definitely do both because I'm pretty diverse. Like some days I like to be by myself, and other days I'm definitely a team player. More recently, I'm definitely with a team because I like the interaction of like with other people and putting people's ideas together, and I feel like it helps everything flow better than just doing it by yourself because you have other input. So I'm feeling like definitely working with a team is better for me.
And we have heard from former college program participants that they are surprised by the amount of time that they're standing and walking in our roles, as well as by the heat to which they're exposed in Florida. We want you to be aware we cannot guarantee an indoor or an outdoor location. Are you receptive to working in any environment?
Yes.
And are you receptive to standing and walking for long periods of time?
I am.
Yeah, I had a feeling I knew the answer to that one. Let's talk about the roles that you're interested in, Nikki.
Sure.
And just so you know, we are going to consider you for all of the roles that you did express interest in, even if I don't talk about them today, but we will definitely talk about a few of them. So I'm just pulling up your list here.
Great.
Now, I know you've worked with kids for a while, so for the children's activities role, if you were in a room with 20 children and there were no toys or games to play with, what would you do?
Oh, I definitely have ideas for this because that actually happens to me on a daily basis. At my job, being a counselor, I work before and after school care, so I'm with the kids more than they see their own parents. So I have quite the close relationship with a lot of them. So I kind of have learned like what kind of fun games that they like to do. So I have these fun attention getters. I'll say like hocus pocus, I need your focus, or 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, stuff like that. And then they'll all kind of look at me and I'll explain something that I'm going to do. And usually it's something creative, so it'll be like a fun game that I could think of. So I could be like, my father went to a grocery store and this is what he got. And then like the kids will try to like guess by like a clue I give them. So it's just like a lot of like imaginative games, or like we like to play telephone, stuff like that. Or in the gym, I'll come up with fun gym games for them. Like the other day we just did an octopus color switch game that I kind of just came up with. So I don't know, just coming up with like fun ways to like use your imagination, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And for the character attendant role, what would you tell the children or the adults waiting in line that Winnie the Pooh is going on break and we'll be back in 5 minutes?
Well, Winnie the Pooh's tummy was kind of feeling rumbly, so he went to go get some honey, but he'll be right back, and he's excited to meet you. Something like that.
Okay. And then for the photographer job role, tell me a little bit about your experience working with cameras and what types of cameras you've used.
So I actually have a YouTube channel, so I have been using cameras for quite some time now, and I've gone through a few different ones.
Okay.
Right now I have a Canon, and I am familiar with using different lenses and stuff like that. I don't have too much in like video knowledge, but cameras I kind of know. And I took classes in high school. I took a photography class, so I do know a little bit about that.
Okay, all right. And for the attractions role, if a child came up to you at an attraction and you discovered he was not quite tall enough to ride the ride, what would you tell him?
I would definitely address them as calmly as I could, and I'd be like, "Hey, princess," or "Hey, pirate, I'm sorry, but you're too short to ride this ride, but there's a lot of other cool rides that you can ride," and I would like show them a park map or something like that, and I would explain like, "Oh, this Winnie the Pooh ride is really, really cool because," and then I would go through like what's in the ride, or like Peter Pan's flight, and I'd be like, "Do you like Peter Pan? I see you're a pirate," and I'd be like, "You can go ride Peter Pan's flight," and I'm gonna show the parents like, "Here's the map, here's where it is." And I would see if I could make some kind of magical moment, like, "Here, I can get you a fast pass for this, I'm sorry about this." And then I would encourage them to come back when they're a little bit taller.
And then for the merchandise role, obviously you've worked in merchandise at American Eagle, and if a, excuse me, frog in my throat, if a guest was looking for a particular item that was not in stock, how would you help them out?
First, I would double check to make sure that it wasn't in stock. And then I would call, I'm not really sure if there's like a stock room or something, but I would definitely check that out and make sure it's not there first. And then I would go into the Parks Shop app and I would see where it is located, and I would direct them to that if it was in my park. If it wasn't, I would show them what other park it is in, or I could request to have it sent to their hotel or back to their house back home.
And for the quick service food and beverage role, now tell me, would you be comfortable handling and serving food, and why would you be interested in this role at Walt Disney World?
Yes, I would be comfortable. Eating snacks at Disney is probably one of everyone's favorite things.
Yes, it's one of my favorite things. Sure.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So I feel like actually just like being in there and getting to actually serve it and make some magical moments there too, because actually I've had some made for me through quick service food and beverage. I would definitely try to throw those in there every now and then too, with like a free ice cream for a kid who's having a rough day or something like that. But yeah, that would be cool.
And for the lifeguard role, tell me a little bit about your previous swimming experience.
So actually, when I was in high school, there was it was kind of like a class, but it was called Swim Guard. So on Saturday mornings, I would go in there and teach kids swim lessons, and we would go through all different levels. So I had really little babies up to like junior high kids who were coming in there, and I would teach them swim, and we would learn different like techniques and stuff like that. So I'm a pretty decent swimmer.
Okay, and for the front desk role, let's say you were checking families at the front desk, and the families that you're currently checking in, their credit card is declined. What would you do?
First of all, I would try it again, because that's the first thing that you should do. and then I would apologize and be like, "Oh, there seems to be some part of my pixie dust. There seems to be some kind of technical issue here. Let me go check with my supervisor and see what we could do for you." And then I would come have like my manager check it out, so I wouldn't have to tell him that on my own.
And like I mentioned, we are going to consider you for all of the roles that you did express interest in. And based on the descriptions in the role checklist in the roles discussed today, are you able to perform the essential functions of the roles with or without a reasonable accommodation?
Yes.
Okay, well, those are all of the questions that I do have for you, Nikki. So let me share what happens from here. We will send communication to your dashboard on the Disney Career Portal, and just be aware there will be no changes to your dashboard until a final decision has been made. You can always check the status of your dashboard. There's a small bell in the upper right-hand corner where it shows any updates to your application. We do make decisions continuously over the course of our season. However, it could take up until the end of October or beginning of November for all final decisions to be made. So we definitely encourage you to keep an eye on your dashboard. We send emails, but we know spam can happen. So if you're wondering what's going on, check that dashboard for me.
Okay.
And if you are accepted, you'll get information on how to execute or decline your offer, when to arrive, the role you will have, classes available to you, and contact information. So you can get a hold of us if you have any further questions at that point. And like I said at the beginning of our conversation, I can take any questions you have about the college program.
Great. So I actually have a couple for you.
Okay.
So, like, I'm very interested in making magical moments. Like I said, I've had lots made for me. So have you had any magical moments made for you?
Oh, I've had tons made for me. So, absolutely. One of my most recent favorites. I don't live in Florida, and we were in Orlando for work, for training, and I was in the parks with some of my fellow interview partners, and we got to the Photo Pass location by the Tangled bathroom. Everybody loves it.
I love it there.
Yeah, and I figured you knew. And so the Photo Pass photographer was a college program student, because it shows your university on your name tag. And so we were standing there, and we had asked various cast members, so do you remember who you interviewed with for your college program interview? And some said no, some said yes, but they weren't with us. And then this girl, her name was Kate, said Nicole. And everybody, it was like slow motion. Everybody looked at me, and I'm like, that's me, because I get to meet the students in person, and so it was really cool. We took our picture together, and it was just neat for me in this role, because I talk to everybody over the phone.
Yeah.
But for me, it was magical because I actually got to meet somebody I interviewed, and she was placed, and so it was really awesome.
Oh, that's so cool.
Character moments are my favorite, though.
Oh, yeah, me too. That's awesome, though. I love that story.
Yeah.
And then, how long have you been working for Mickey?
So, I did the college program 1,000 years ago, and I was a lifeguard at Typhoon Lagoon from a program. I came back home. I graduated from college. I actually worked in 3 different industries full-time over a 16-year time period before coming full circle and coming back to the company.
Oh, wow.
So what I'll tell you, it looks great on your resume. It doesn't matter what your role is. It looks great on your resume. And one of my old college program roommates used to do this job. It's a part-time job. And when I was looking to go from full-time to part-time because I had 2 much younger kids at the time. And so it all worked out. And now I've been back with the mouse for almost 3 years. So.
Oh, wow. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
That's definitely something that I want to do, too. I want to make this more than just a free admission to a park, and I want to come full circle and definitely get, like, a higher-up job eventually down the line.
For sure.
Then I know locations are not, like, you can't really secure those. Yeah, but I was just wondering if you could, like, request, like, to have one.
Yes. I am happy to put that down, but like I just mentioned, I can't guarantee it. So
right.
What would be your dream role or location?
My dream role is definitely to be a character attendant because, like I said, I have experience with that because I do that when I do my princess thing. I also have to do character attending, so I know a lot about like integrity and stuff like that. So that's definitely my top role. But my top location probably would be somewhere in Magic Kingdom, just because I feel like I have such a deep connection there.
Okay, all right. So I have Magic Kingdom down, but again, can't guarantee anything.
Right.
Really good. Anything else for me, Nikki?
I think that's it.
Okay, well, I do want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today and for your interest in doing the Disney College program.
Thank you so much, Nicole. It was awesome.
You're welcome. You have a magical day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh my God, guys. I think I did pretty good. Okay. That was scary. I think I did well, but oh my God, my heart is like beating super fast. Cross your fingers. It was really cool that her name was Nicole, and I really liked her story about how she got to meet somebody that she got into the program. So I think that's really cool. And I'm glad that I requested my spot. So I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I'm still going to post this if I didn't get in, or if I did. I'll probably put in the description like what my role is if I get it. So definitely check that out. And you guys should really all do this program. It's something like really cool. And it's something really close to my heart. So I don't know. Anyways, bye everyone. Thank you.